Okay. Uh, I've made a lot of videos, and which I'm okay with that. That's what I want to do. I want to show the pattern of what I want to do. Sorry, I want to show the pattern of what um, they've done to me in regard of my psychological manipulations and memory manipulations. They've done a lot of things, and I've recorded a lot of it. But unfortunately, when I title what manipulations, I don't title some of them as properly as I can. So you can hear me say the same thing that I've talked about before, right? And and so and so I'll have to make the same video because I want to keep the pattern, even though it's somewhere in my prior videos. I've talked about it in my videos. It's just I can't find the same video, so sometimes I have to recreate the same video or talk about the same thing I've already talked about specifically, because what I'm trying to do is to show this pattern of what they do, the changes of how they made me experience something. I want to show a clear pattern that goes back as far as I can in regard of what they've done. This is what I'm going to bring up is something I've already talked about, specifically that moment. But I've talked about the memory manipulation in different versions of it, different things they've done to manipulate me. Matter of fact, as I was looking for that video, I saw all the things they manipulated me. They gave me stimulation on any, like any kids that whatever they could to bring back all the manipulation. But I make videos because I want to show the pattern that, and they want me to identify with this manipulation. They want me to see them in these things. They make noise campaign. When they talk about the warnings of what I'm going to experience, they do the honking because it's like, listen, this is a way to try to make me acceptive of the manipulation that they've been doing to me. What I've talked about before is this specific memory they've manipulated, which is kind of pathetic in so many ways. These people doing these things to me work for entities that's really actually is very close to what I'm about to talk about. This thing I'm gonna go through, the way they have changed my memories, what I was watching is very relatable to what's happening in those agencies. And then you hear this trash to try to counter that. Because there's reality. The reality is what they are at war with. They are at war with reality. I am thankful that I got to see this BuzzFeed article that kind of broke down the disturbingness of these agencies and this trash that wanted to create a psyop, which is, as I've made videos, is a way to kind of project a false reality to cover up the reality of what this thing is. And so this trash that are coming out with their fantasy, right, to try to, and the things, the way they try to counter that is thinking that violence is going to change the reality. They think that that's going to change what I'm going to say, because what I'm going to say is something they don't want to hear. They want to live in that deluded reality. And so, oh, you're going to die for this. Like, listen, trash, you can't even say the name of a pedophile. You understand what your bottom feeder is. I'd rather I'd rather get raped every day, tortured every way possible, than having to live my life to counter this. And calling this war, which is blocking the reality of what you're part of. There's no torture that's going to change the reality of these people. They have to fabricate reality. And then they even try to use the way they talk. Like this tonality and hearing this bottom feeders of fraudulent trash that present themselves in this way is disturbing. But I could have been them. I could have been the humiliating trash that is trying to counter what I'm about to say. The reality of what these people are part of and the way they try to counter reality is telling themselves they are war in order to be able to cope with the reality that they are working for governmental entities that is using human subjects to develop this technology. But even the human subject they use are sometimes children or women. But the entities contracting them are trash, are pedophiles. Let me say how they manipulate. I've made a lot of videos about memory manipulations. One video I've made a while ago, I can't find it anymore. It's because I didn't title it perfectly. I didn't title it the right way. It's about how they go into my memories and change version. I used to watch this 2020 Nightlife special. I made a video about it. I can't see it. I went through all my videos, which they kind of did everything they did to me before. It's like a special 2020. It was about these foreigners traveling in some like South Asian country, and these foreigners were pedophiles. They were going to go there to have sex with like babies, like young as 9 years old and stuff. Like, it was so disturbing. And I remember talking about it, right? I remember watching that and saying, these people are disgusting. But I was watching this documentary. You can only imagine how they're changing the memories. This 2020 Nightlife or whatever, one of the special Nightlife thing was showing how they set up these foreigners coming from this Western world country to go to these brothels of like babies, of kids. And they set up these foreigners or this pimp of children. And they were this guy, and there's many ways they were showing this baby, these little Asian kids, these babies. And this guy pretended like he was one of these pedophiles. And it's like, oh, I want this, how old this is? She's 9 years old. And the guy would be like, oh yeah, she's never done it. She's so disgusting. And the babies will come like, it was so nasty. It was so sad. Now the way they have make me experience, which I've talked about in that video, is giving me stimulations. I'm experiencing these memories with a feeling, a sensation that I wasn't experienced before. Before I was like feeling so bad. Look at these poor babies, they're little kids, like babies, like preteen babies, like it's so sad. And so now they're trying to give me stimulation. There's one moment where there was like these kids were on this man's lap or whatever, and they try to give me stimulations and sensation, creating memories the way they do with their nasty pedophilia things. But these bottom feeders, this trash that are trying to counter that, right? Know that the reality of what this BuzzFeed article exposed. This BuzzFeed article exposed that there's been a lot of pedophiles in these agencies. Some of them traveling outside the country, going in some countries, coming back with pictures of children in these ways. These foreigners that will go into this South Asian country are close to the reality of what is happening with these agents, these CIA agents and other agencies going to these foreign countries, coming back with some kind of child porn. I bet you this trash will go into the same countries and perhaps get these services, these disturbing pedophilia things they get over there. That is the reality. That's what they're part of. With me, they dare, which is not daring, they do falsify memories on others, to try to make me have the persona of the people they are contracted to work for. And try to sound fierce about it too. Thinking that I'm going to look at them as if they're the trash of the government. Cowards. Reality will come. And I hear this guy, he was like, every time they falsify things, they try to make a noise. It's like trash. You understand reality, right? As you make me imagine this 2020 Ducky, it's not even Ducky, like the special they have every, like on Fridays and whatever. My head, the way they just, the way they try to change that, the reality of what these people are is crazy. And they try to be fierce about it. They are working for pedophiles. They do the pedophilia type of torture, and they try to be fierce. But that's what they've been doing in my memories. But the thing is, it was kind of frustrating. It's like, oh man, I made this video already. I don't want to spend the energy of remaking this video talking about these things. And showing that that's what they do. Can you imagine in your lifetime, your job was to try to counter somebody's reality, to counter reality by trying to, first of all, falsify memories like that, and then try to counter the fact that he knows about the issue with pedophiles in these agencies, and there's the likelihood of the agents going to this foreign country to have sex with children as young as like babies, 9-year-old. This is even younger than that. This is babies, like, it's so disgusting. And now, to counter that, they make me experience a sensation and stimulation toward these babies that were being prostitutes. I'm talking about preteen babies. It's not even, listen, there's kids, but there's like another level of like this disturbing. When you see a 7-year-old or 8-year-old being prostitutes, it's just disgusting. But they are putting stimulations. And they're making noise campaign. And because what they're doing, they make me feel a stimulation of some stupidity. They don't live in reality. When in reality, they should look at themselves for the low-life pedos that they are. Recreating memories for me to believe that I'm this person. Creating this false notion of self. That's what they want to. And they think this trash, I know they're pedos for real. Are going to make me subscribe to this. There's no torture that's going to change reality. And they go with the bullshit. Oh, we minded, we mapped it. It's like you are falsifying a memory. I didn't react any ways like that. But I understand with me, time is going, and my memory of being me is disappearing. So you are creating these stimulations, and they're yelling in from far. We mapped it, as it doesn't look more fraudulent. You obviously try to compensate by being loud in order for me to subscribe to this shit. That's the things they do. While they're working for pedophiles, they are projecting these things onto us and call themselves theirs. And then they'll die, having to have lived this life. They will try to tell themselves, oh, are evil, but when they're evil, somehow it's kind of fierce. No, you work for pedophile evil. You're pedo kind of evil. Then you'll die. That's how you should look at it. And the tonality of the fierceness that you have remotely should be seen as that. As you falsify these disgusting ways of making me like experience these things, these memories, and try to diverge. I'll never be myself again. I understand. I've already talked about this video specifically. I'm gonna make sure, not this video, I've already talked about this 2020 story of how they've changed my memories of this. But if you go into memory manipulation, I was like listening to all the different memory manipulation that made me experience, giving me stimulation, sensation that I didn't experience, and then making this kind of noise campaign to try to box in this falsification of my memories. You know, it's whatever I'm going to go through, I know it's going to be scary, but there's nothing scarier to have involved themselves in this and then go through scary things. Because that's scarier. Cowards will be like, you're nothing, sitting somewhere in there comfortably. Then you see me, who's nothing again? Who's nothing again? Do you understand that what you try to manipulate me to experience is what these agencies have? This experience of how I watch this sad story about these poor babies in Asia, in some Asian country. And now you try to give me stimulation when I was in my memories to create this BS you think I'm going to subscribe to? I know you manipulate me to experience that. You're low-life trash. You work for pedophiles. Your gender doesn't change that. You're trash. You're not a warrior of what? You're trash. You're a warrior for these pedos then. Death comes to all of us. You know, they live this way. Death is the equalizer, everybody. There is nothing fierce. I was tortured by people who torture children. I was tortured by people who manipulate people renownedly in these pedophilia ways. I was tortured by people who are actually contracted. Well, I was tortured by these people who have problem with pedophilia. And project these nasty things. And then you hear these retards that they send. They like to send a child like retards to yell things that they know that will never be subscribed to. Matter of fact, it validates me even more. Because there's confidence, there's even more confidence that, yeah, you've been manipulating me like that. And now it's like that. that I am now experiencing this memory with a sensation and stimulation that I did not experience at the time. But now, you know what's the argument? You didn't experience at the time, but that was before you were mapped. If you were mapped experiencing, watching that, you will experience that stimulation because you have experienced that at some point in your life. Do you understand how retarded this shit is? This is what this trash wanting me to experience. This want me to have logic about this. To all my target individuals, stay strong. Understand these people are damn near pedophiles. And regardless of who is involved, even if they don't have no problem using their children, because these only childlike individuals can tell themselves they are at war. Only childlike individuals can do that. As I'm saying that, they say black girls and try to give me the stimulation. You understand how diverging they're trying to do it? They are literally have falsified memory of something I have no problem knowing that it's falsified. I know for sure. I don't even have doubt. But one thing is annoying is I'm never going to experience this memory without getting the sensation and stimulation that they make me have. And I hear people who are contracted by these pedophiles that would go in this country to be with a child as young as like 7, 9-year-old and try to get me to disgusting trash. And it's like, yeah, trash. You see, that's your war. So my target individuals, stay strong.